This week, in total, I made approximately $21,000 from day trading options in the stock market, and in this video, I'm going to do a complete breakdown. Before we start this video, I want to mention that out of those $21,000, $18,000 came from only 2 trades, and that's how life works and that's how day trading works, because at the end of the year, you guys will notice that 80% of your profits for the year will come from 20% of the trades or maybe 20% of the days. And your job as a day trader is to be patient, wait for those days and capitalize on those days. So here are my stats for the week. This is the app that I use to journal every single day. It's called Tradezilla, and I think it's one of the best in the game. You guys will see that I had a slow start to the week. On Monday, I took 1 trade. I made $2,500. On Tuesday, I was up approximately $3,000 to $4,000 unrealized gains, but then I was able to finish that trade. I was able to close that trade with $1,200 in the green. Wednesday, I had 1 good trade. On this trade, I made 70% ROI. That means if you invest $10,000 on this trade, you can make $7,000. So you guys will see that this week I did not size up. My position sizing on any given trade was not more than $15,000. On Thursday, I was small red, $861. At the peak, I was down approximately $2,500. I took 1 or 2 more trades and I finished the day with $861 in the red. And then on Friday, I made $9,000. That is approximately 65% on return on investment. That is approximately 3-hour trade. So that means I risked around $3,000 to make $9,000 on this trade. So you guys will see another 65% winner. So that means my position sizing on this trade was approximately $13,000 to $14,000. In this video, we're going to focus on my 2 big trades on Wednesday and Friday, and then we would also see how I lost $2,500 on Thursday. So these were the 2 big winners and 1 big loser for the week. Let's first start with my big winner. That was on Wednesday on PNW. This was the earnings play. So what happened on PNW? This is the monthly chart. I want to start with the monthly chart because this was a playbook setup. Higher the time frame, the stronger is the setup, and we are focusing on the monthly chart, which is a very high time frame. So in the month of January, February, March, we can see that PNW had an insane rally towards the upside. It moved approximately, I would say, 51% in 3 months, which is insane. And the volume was also high. In the month of April, we had a consolidation month on very low volume. So the volume analysis is perfect. That means it's making a bull flag on the monthly chart. So in the month of May, it's looking really good for a break towards the upside, for the break of all-time high, which is approximately $213.63 level. And now here's a weekly chart in front of you guys. So we saw that we had a rally towards the upside. On the weekly chart, we can see the same thing. These past 2-3 weeks, we had a push towards the upside followed by a consolidation. So it's making a bull flag on the weekly chart as well. So monthly chart, bull flag. Weekly chart, bull flag. So the higher time frames are looking really good. Here's a 1-day chart of PNW in front of you guys. After the earnings on this day, after market close, the next day we were gapping up. So I was watching this stock because this stock is looking really good on the higher time frames. We were making a bull flag on the monthly, bull flag on the weekly. On the daily chart, we are gapping up. So basically, I was watching this 195 to 197 zone. And if you guys ask me why, because we can see the high of this day is around 197, high of this day 197, low of this day 197, low of this day again around 197, similarly low of this day around 197. So off the open, my plan was that if we hold this zone 195 to 197, we can potentially go for the break of $200 level and this pivot level, which is approximately, I would say, 201. If we get above 201, this can even go to 205 and break this pivot level. So the profit target was really nice on this trade, and it was opening right around 197. So the risk is approximately 1 or 2 points against me, and the reward is potentially 8 or 9 points in my favor. Here's a 1-minute chart of PNW. Off the open, we saw that we had a dip under 197. That dip was quickly bought back up. I entered my calls position right here. On the next candle, we had low volume, so I added to my position. My first entry was right here. Second entry was right here. I caught this whole push towards the upside, and as I mentioned that we can go for 205, we can see that we went for 205. The first resistance we found was around 206.75. So my entry was somewhere around the low of the day. First entry, second entry, caught this whole push towards the upside. I'm going to post a screenshot of my fills right at the top so you guys can see my entries and exits on this trade. Overall on this trade, I made approximately $8,200. Now let's move to Thursday, because Thursday I lost money. So my first big loser on Thursday was on NVDA. So NVDA, after the earnings, it reported earnings on Wednesday after market close. On Thursday, we were gapping up, and this was an insane gap up. It was gapping up above the all-time high, and it was gapping up approximately 30% from the previous day close, which is insane. So off the open, I think my trade idea was pretty valid. I was not willing to touch this stock off the open. On the 1 minute chart, I think my entry was really good. This trade idea was pretty good because on the 1 minute chart, we were gapping up a lot. So I wanted to wait it out. So I waited patiently for the first few minutes of the open. After we settled down, after the opening price action settled down right here, we can see that we had a push towards the downside. I was just waiting patiently. I did not take any positions. I'm going to post a screenshot of my fills right at the top. My first entry was, I think, around this candle. So when I saw this push towards the upside on high volume, this red candle on low volume, so I was like, this can go for the break of VWAP for a push towards 388 and $390 level for maybe the after hours high if we hold about 380. So when I entered my position, my stop loss was right here, and on this candle I got stopped out on this trade, losing around $2,500 because I had 50 contracts on this trade. Then my second entry on this trade was on this candle. When I saw that, okay, we are going under 375, but the tape was looking really strong. On the book map, on the tape, the market depth, there were repeated buyers around 375. That's why my second position was right here. This was on a bit smaller size than my original position because I was already red for the day, and I caught this push towards the upside, but on the remaining few contracts I got stopped out right here. So overall on this trade I made approximately $1,600, and then I tried one more long right here, I think with only 5 contracts, where I was like again stopped out, losing around $800 in total on this day. Finally, my trade on Friday was on Adobe. This was again a really good trade, but honestly guys, I have a lot of FOMO on this trade because based on my entry and my position sizing, I could have made approximately $50,000 on this trade, and that was Friday. Because if you guys look at the chart of QQQ on Friday, we had an insane rally towards the upside. A lot of stocks like Tesla had a rally, even Netflix had an insane rally towards the upside. So Friday is a very easy day to have FOMO on, but I am actually proud of myself for just sticking to my rule, taking one trade and calling it a day. On this stock, we discussed in the Discord group as well that we had an insane rally on Thursday. We broke this trend line. There was no news behind this stock. I don't think so. This was just like a technical breakout. On Thursday, we had high volume. So on Friday, I was watching this stock for a hold of 394, 395 for a break of this 402.49, which is the previous pivot level. So I entered my calls position on this trade off the open because in the pre-market, even though the market was looking kind of weak, it was holding under the VWAP, but Adobe was holding strong in the pre-market. And that is the reason I entered my calls position on this trade on this candle right here when I saw the hold of 397, 397.5, and I was able to take my partials on this candle. I held through this pullback, I held through this consolidation, and finally I took majority of my position out right here, making approximately $9,000. But now the thing is, I have FOMO on this stock because if you guys look at the 5 minutes chart, this is the 402.49 level that we got from the daily chart. I'm going to mark it again for you guys right here. The high of this day, 402.49. On the 5 minutes chart on Friday, we can see this was very clean price action. Had a push towards the upside, we pulled back, we held that previous 1-day chart resistance at support, and then had an insane rally towards the upside. My fill price, I'm going to post a screenshot of my fills at the top. My fill price was around 2.95 right here, and those same contracts were approximately $12 or $13 at the top. So that means if I would have held my whole position, this was approximately $50,000 trade for me. I'm kind of happy with my trade because I held through that pullback on the 1 minute chart. As I showed you guys that on the 1 minute chart we had a pullback, and I was holding the same day expiry contract. So they lose a lot of value on the pullback. So I am kind of proud of myself for holding the remaining position, majority of my position for the break of 405. That was my profit target. Why? Because the average true range, that is the ATR of this stock, is approximately $10. That is on an average, this stock moves approximately $10. So if I am day trading and I catch a move from 397 to 405, that is 8 points move, on a stock where the ATR is $10, I'm going to be happy with taking my profits. Yes, once in a while, the market will be irrational. It's going to rally towards the upside like QQQ did. But as a day trader, you can just have a plan and execute your plan. You can't ever catch the bottom or the top of the stock market. I am happy that I was able to execute at the top level. So yes, I have FOMO from this day, but my review to myself is that maybe I could have held 5 or 10 contracts because I took 50 contracts. So I could have held maybe 10 or 20% of my position for a bigger push towards the upside because the 5 minute chart was looking really good. But holding the whole position, 50 contracts to catch the low of the day and high of the day, is not how day trading works. So my goal is not to catch the low or high of the day. My goal is to have a plan, execute that plan, and then maybe let 10 or 20% of my position run for maybe gift from the market gods. That's it, guys. Honestly, it took me a long time to make this video, so I would really appreciate a thumbs up on this channel. If you guys are new, subscribe to my channel for a lot more content on day trading. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I already posted a recap of my PNW trade on Instagram. So go give me a follow there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.